Mommy. Kill her. Don't let her get away, Mommy. Don't let her live.
I won't, Jason. I won't.
Hey guys, welcome to Picture Book Drama, where it is everything in entertainment. I am your host, Sean, your video and comic guru. Welcome to our next chapter in the 31 Days of October. Here I will focus on my favorite horror films. They're in no particular order, so don't hit me back saying, why is that at that number? It's only because this is when I picked it up at the store. I'm broke. I don't have no money. But with that said, that's why I'm doing this one right now. But it also is because it deserves to be in this particular spot. It, in my opinion, is one of the top horror films that's out there. It spawned a ton of different sequels that, as they went on, they got worse and worse and worse, and they had to redo it, and they got worse and worse and worse. But you still remember the heart of what these films were about. And with this particular one, we're going to be hitting it up here. This started in 1980. S Cunningham, who in my opinion is one of the top 5 horror directors out there, created what can only be considered one of the top horror iconic figures out there. You mention this name and you know who he is. And with that, we're going to be talking about Friday the 13th. With this, Jason Voorhees basically went onto the stage and just took over at that point. Or should I say, he, along with 3 other characters, took over the horror genre. But in 1980, this movie kind of came out of nowhere because you didn't know what to expect. It really was the start of the slasher films. Unlike other films that were out, this was really just a matter of a whole bunch of people out there to get slaughtered. It really set it up where it's like, if you have sex in a horror film, you're gonna die. And you're gonna die in really horrible, brutal ways. But this one had a really great twist at the end that basically any horror film that came out afterwards will basically be having to play catch up to it. And if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's Halloween time. Watch it. See what it's like, because you'll understand what that means. But to me, Friday the 13th, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3, which amazingly enough came out in 1980, 81, and 82, in my opinion, are the best of the series. Because the first one, again, I'm not going to spoil it, who was doing what, but that had a surprise ending. In the second one, Jason was wearing a knapsack or a potato sack, which to me looked a lot scarier. He actually looked more hillbilly and a little bit more freakish in the knapsack. But I guess they figured you can't really see his face that much in there. So in the third one, which came out in regular format as well as in a 3D format back in the early 90s or late 80s, I think it was late 80s. And at that point, the 3D was horrible. It didn't get good until like 2005, so imagine it in like 1989. But it still was great because that's where he got the iconic hockey mask. At that point, they realized a hockey mask was something everybody knew what it was, and they put a nice freakish twist on it. So at that point, they knew they had something, and at that point, he's been wearing a hockey mask ever since. But there's been so many different versions of this film. I'm only going to talk about those 3 because to me the rest were basically just slasher films. You didn't care about anybody, they were just there to get killed. At least with Halloween, there was a ongoing storyline in a way. That kind of fell off and kind of came back later. But with this, I still feel this is part of that 3-part, that 3-tier of who are the most iconic horror film people out there. There's 4. And if you look at my number 4 pick, you know who that 4th one is. But as far as the top 3 goes, you got, Jason. You gotta have Freddy. But you gotta have the king of them all. You gotta have Michael Myers. Because in 1978, John Carpenter pretty much set the stage for who is a monster and how they're supposed to be portrayed. You don't have to be some supernatural character. You could just be mysterious, to just run around and not have anything explained, which unfortunately they tried to do about 20 years later. But they retconned all that, and then that worked for a little while. Then Rob Zombie came in, screwed that all up. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Friday the 13th. Get a great series. You know, if you guys are going to get anything out there, get this one. Either, you know, this is a DVD set. This has I think the first 8 or 9 movies in this collection. You know, after that, you can always just go and pick up Freddy vs. Jason, which is a really good film. This is what a lot of us has been waiting for, to see what those two would be like on the big screen. Not the greatest matchup, could have been a lot better. They pretty much just threw in the random people to get them killed, so the story wasn't that great. But it's still, to me, I remember seeing it in the theater, and again, not going to win any Academy Awards, but it's still a really, really good film. After that, yeah, they went back to hitting more of the sequels on those, but then I believe in 2013, they decided to do a remake of it, which wasn't bad. It kind of fell into the same category as the other Friday the 13th films. You had a bunch of teen people there to get killed. But with this one, you had the main character from Supernatural. I can't remember what his name is, but if you watch this film, he's in there. Just go on IMDb or whatever that is, and you'll be able to look it up. But it's not a bad one. It's more like a prequel, sequel type of deal. You know, you can look at this film and not see the other ones and be alright. But if you do know the history of Friday the 13th, this does follow it. So it's really your call on how you want to get involved. If you just want to get this, you'll be fine. It'll be no problem. But in my opinion, nothing ever beats the classic. You gotta know where it came from. If you don't know where it came from, you're not gonna know why it's so iconic and why people love it so much. If you go on the internet and you look these 3 characters up, these guys have probably been hit on the internet more times than Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King. It's scary. But they have a bigger following on the internet than some of our biggest historic icons out there. But that's just me babbling. Let me know what you guys think. Have you seen Friday the 13th? Have you seen all of them? Do you dare sit through all of them? Can you do that? Are you capable of it? Are you stupid enough to do that? Let me know. So I'll do that with you. We'll hit each other up. We'll Skype. We'll keep each other up. But until then, I'm Sean, your video and comic guru. Hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Twitter, subscribe on here so that way you guys are always up on my new videos. And don't forget, I'll be doing some more unboxings. I will be doing a Predator unboxing coming closer to Halloween. So probably that Friday I'm going to drop the number 2 video, and I'll be doing my Predator video. So I'll be letting people know on Facebook. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Sean, peace. Yay!
the others. They didn't believe me. You're all doomed. You're all doomed.